Hey everyone, it's Mark at Aluma Trailers here, and today we're going to go through the installation of a 82 series tilt winch mount. So when you order this part, I'm going to go through what we get in the kit with the winch mount. Obviously, in all the hardware bags you get the instructions, and with that, when you order the winch mount, you're going to get the actual winch plate for the 82 tilt. You'll get your 2 bottom brackets for your mounting. You'll get your 4 bolts, your 4 lock nuts, and 8 washers. The tools you're going to need to install this obviously will be a 3/4 inch wrench, the 3/4 inch impact and socket, the 17/32 drill bit and the drill, tape measure, a Sharpie or a black marker to mark where you're going to be, and safety equipment, of course, your gloves and your glasses. So with that, let's move over to the trailer and we'll start the install. Okay, as you can see, we're in front of the 82 series tilt that we have that we're going to do the install on. First off, make sure your trailer's locked in the lock position and the tilt down position when we start this. But the first thing we need to do is we need to make our measurement to see where our center point is from side to side. So with that, we'll just simply take and measure from outside a rail to outside a rail, and then take your Sharpie and make a mark in center of where the center point is. Now we're doing that so we can determine where the center is going to be for our winch mount. Now the next thing we'll do is we're going to place the winch mount here up on the trailer in the position that we want. Now we want to have enough clearance coming into the front of the trailer so when you mount your winch onto the plate here, when it tilts, it'll still come up and not hit onto your headache rack or your rock guard or your air dam that's on the front of the trailer. So with that, we'll take the center of the winch mount and we'll place it so it's centered on. As you can see, it's extending up. Now, one thing to watch for in this is where our planks come together here. We want to make sure underneath the legs that where our bolt holes will go do not go in through the seams or hit into a leg. Obviously, if you're drilling in through the leg of the plank, it is going to be harder to get your bolts in or drill through. So with that, just make sure you're kind of doing a check. Now, as you can see, we already have made the back mark, so we know where it is. We already have our center mark. Now at this point, knowing that we're squared up, I can see my leg of my seam here. I'm going to make some temporary marks right now. So I'm just going to mark each 4 holes. Of the mount, and I'll make a little mark here so I know where to place it back on when we take it off. At this point, you can move the winch mount on, and you can see where we've marked center marks and our 4 holes are going to go. Now, just to be sure, we're going to actually tilt the trailer. Look underneath where those holes will go through and make sure we have not put it in a position where we're going to drill through the legs. So at this time, we're going to tilt the trailer. It's locked. It's locked. And we'll simply just look underneath to make sure where our holes are don't go into the legs of the planks. Okay, now that we've tilted it up and checked the underside to make sure we have good clearance, we're going to tilt the trailer back down so we can start our drilling and get this going. And we'll just latch it into place. And now we'll go ahead and start drilling the holes that we've set. Now, sometimes you might need to take and get a small pilot bit to just do your pilot holes in there. But either way, you can set it up how you want. Okay, now we're ready to drill. So we'll put on our safety glasses, take our 7/32 drill bit, and if you remember, we marked all 4 holes here, so we're going to go ahead and drill these through. Okay. Now we're ready to just tilt our trailer back up and we'll be able to mount our winch plate. Okay, now we have our holes drilled. Our winch plate is on. Now let's put our bolts through the top. So we'll take a washer, put it on our bolt, and line our holes up. And now we're going to tilt the trailer back up to mount the mounts underneath and get ready to finish this up. So here we'll release the tilt and we'll just tilt it back up. It's locked here real quick. We'll tilt it back up. We'll lock the lock into place so it stays in the upright position. And now we'll finish this up. So you still have your 4 washers, your 4 lock nuts, and our plates. So the plates will go underneath. And we'll mount our washers and lock nuts. Now, sometimes it's really nice to have an extra set of hands on this, but you can do it with one person. Just takes a little bit more to do it. Okay, and now we will use our 3/4 inch impact and our 3/4 inch wrench. And you are secure on your winch mount. Now let's go ahead and we'll tilt it back down, making sure that all the clearances are right and everything's still good in place. So we'll release our lock and we'll just tilt it down. And as you can see, as you mount your winch on here, it will tilt with the deck of the trailer, allowing for you to have an even pull when you're running your vehicle or whatever you're winching up under the trailer. So that completes the winch mount for an 82 series tilt. And then lock it out again.